While I have you, Tyrion, would you mind looking at some of my old cuts that reopened? I haven't stopped since the fight back in Antiva.
I pull out the bandages and some stitches. Let me check them out. Alrighty, and I start see what injuries you have.
Yeah, I'm just gonna hold up the palm that had the cut across that reopened, and then just. I feel like because when you look at my wounds, I'd at least take the jacket off and like roll my sleeves up.
Yeah.
And there's more scars than you would expect from a lawyer on them.
Mm-hmm. As I take out my bandages and start like stitching up the palmed hand, I kind of go, "Well, it seems you've been in rough situations."
Well, when you're a young 14-year-old in Nevarra and you get by on eating rats, it's a little tough.
It stops when you say rats. Continues working. That. I'm trying to imagine if I ever did that, but I don't believe I have ever ate rat before.
It's more of an acquired taste. I don't really recommend it unless you're starving.
I'd imagine so. Why would you even eat one willingly unless you really need it? But you're not the only. But we all have our own scars. As I kind of stop a bit, I roll up my sleeve because I don't have my bandages anymore for now. There's a couple of scars. They all seem to be similar, though. As he rolls it down, continues working.
Those seem much more deliberate.
That they are. And I've got more than those on my arm. Upper toes are on arms, a little bit on my neck. Enough to say that it makes me look like some sort of paint, some body painting.
At least you can make light out of it. Tyrion, I feel like me and you might have gotten off to the wrong foot. Let's start fresh from here and try to keep it at least as neutral as possible, if not fond.
I agree.
And in case if you have another mistake, and then I'm just gonna like put the prune juice on his chest.
I take it, I look at it, and I just uncork it, take a swig of it, and I just put it down, put it in my backpack. I'll keep it. And I give him my hand. How about a friendly old handshake?
Oh, I'll shake his hand and throw my jacket back on.
Thank you, hashtag Tiruso.
You mean Tirso?
Tirso.
Tirso, that's good.
Tuso.
Because they're so sad.
They have sort of similar lives, quote unquote.
Dareth, while the conversations are happening, he's not doing much. But as the conversation between Leon, Callista, who's Callista? Leon, Pasha, and Rosie is finishing up. Daretham approaches the three, looking to Leon, and says, "Leon, could you perhaps assist me? I wanted to discuss that paralyzation circle a little more."
Oh yeah, that would be an interesting. Sort of walks off with him.
Apologies, and I'll just give a little nod to the other two.
Sure. Where are you taking them on the map, on the caravan map?
Away from people, so probably back to where I am, like in the storage. That
yeah,
card.
let's do that. So we'll move you guys there.
Zoom.
So I'd
Sorry,
shut the door.
Riding a Bronto the whole time.
So yeah, I kind of offer him to step inside. Sorry, it's a bit of a tight space.
Oh, I'm sure it's fine. Sort of like squeezes in.
Right. Shut the door. Why is your satchel talking?
He was very not expecting this to happen, and sort of like reflexively puts his hand on the satchel and says, like, it, magical objects tend to sometimes stored, he's, trying to blubber, trying to,
I've never heard of a magical object that speaks.
Things have changed since you went into seclusion. Yeah.
All right. Well, the voice didn't exactly sound benevolent per se.
He knows the jig's up, but so sometimes we find objects that contain secrets that could be damaging to
Leon, at least if I'm able to, I'm very good at keeping secrets.
all right, but the secret could really kill some people if it gets out.
Oh, I have a lot of experience with that.
The killing part or the
Yes.
secret part? Oh, okay. Sort of tails a little bit. You promise you won't tell?
I promise, unless you give me express permission. My lips are sealed.
Oh, okay. So Leon sort of quietly opens the satchel and slowly pulls out a cookbook.
Well, you go and reach for the cookbook, but
Yeah.
then as you are about to grab the cookbook ribbon shoves Mr. Bun into your hand.
Leon sort of looks at the satchel and is like, that's not what I want. So he pulls out Mr. Bun, puts it in his other hand, and pulls out.
So I'm gonna say that Daretham actually sees for a moment Mr. Bun, this little bunny, innocent looking.
Mr. Bun. I saw him before when you were talking, like in the cave.
Yeah.
I go,
You still keep the toy around.
Yeah, it reminds me of my parents. Tries to pull out the book.
You'll pull out the book.
It's a cookbook. Yeah.
You mind?
Sort of slowly hands it over.
yeah, and I'll gently take it, look. Not opening it yet, just kind of inspecting around. I assume I can't notice anything out of the ordinary, even if I flip through the
Not-
pages, right?
No, not right now. No.
I kind of look through.
Well, herring pie. What's this one? What's ice cream?
Oh, it looks like lots of sugar and a little bit of milk.
It sounds incredibly unhealthy for you.
I kind of snap the book shut, hand it back.
Leon sort of pokes the book. Come on, you're making me look bad in front of my friends. Poke.
So you're saying that and doing that in front of Daretham.
Yeah.
That's not exactly comforting, Leon.
Oh man.
Like, I know illusions are a thing, and I understand, but still, I'd refrain from that in front of the
All right.
others.
So Leon can't think of anything else, so he pulls out a knife and quickly sort of stabs himself.
Okay, you stab yourself, and
Pyrus doesn't help you.
I'm assuming the droplets, some of the blood drops onto the book,
Yeah.
Daretham is just like, wait, what are you doing?
and the book starts to transform. And as soon as the book transforms before Daretham's eyes, Pyrus immediately says, "Now, boy, what did I tell you about your technique? That was completely wrong. You slash to the left, not to the right."
Well, if someone was teaching me and not just randomly interjecting their thoughts and opinions into very sensitive subjects where they're trying to be a cookbook, well, maybe.
I've been trying to teach you, but you've been wasting your time gallivanting around fairs and circuses and all its other distractions.
You ever heard of the process of treat yourself, where you're in a very stressful situation, like a book is talking to you and encouraging you to do things that'll probably lead to your death if anyone found out?
Stressful situation? You got yourself a griffin, which, by the way, is probably the best thing that you have acquired in your possession since me.
You're probably right, and thank you very much for the circle thing, but you're not helping when you're like, she will be the first blood sacrifice. No, we're not sacrificing anyone.
Well, she was just trying to win you over with those sweets earlier because she knows that she is prime for a blood sacrifice, a blood ritual. Maybe tonight. You want me to teach you something? I'll teach you something tonight. Let's do a blood ritual.
Those were bribes?
Hello.
Sorry, whew.
Oh, good. Maybe I can actually have an adult conversation with somebody for once, he says,
Adult?
turning towards
Excuse me.
Darthim. Well, I'm sorry, Leon, but like you said, you're still very green and bushy-eyed and bushy-tailed, or whatever the term is, and...
Excuse me, my hands have been not green since I've started actually practicing magic, so...
Yes, practicing magic, yes, but you haven't been actually executing anything as of late.
Leon turns to Darthim and says, see, this is what I've been dealing with?
Well, hello there.
What is?
Hello.
Looks like the cat is out of the bag.
One cat, one bag. There's still a lot of cats trying to, murder me. Haha.
Murder you? Who else is trying to murder you?
Well, you're a magic talking book about secrets of blood magic, and if blood magic gets out, well, we're all dead.
Not with that attitude.
Social ramifications. Leon is quite right.
Well, the world probably needs to shift its mind then.
It could probably be less extreme, though it's warranted to some degree.
Well, perhaps if we start getting rid of some of the naysayers like one Pasha, then perhaps little by little we might make a dent in how society sees blood magic.
There's a lot of naysayers, Mr. Book. I don't know what to call you.
His name's Pyrus. Just call him Pyrus. He's got a super long name, and
I've heard long names before. I doubt it's that crazy.
Pyrus, yes. You can call me Pyrus if it suits you.
Pyrus.
By the way, do I recognize like a Tevinter accent or something like that on this guy, or on the voice?
Oh yeah.
Does it sound? Because I've heard Tyrion, who I imagine would speak with a Tevinter accent and things like that. Does it sound modern, or does it sound like my accent?
It sounds like your accent. Yours,
and
yes.
I kind of raise an eyebrow and...
Liana, could I try something?
Sure. Have fun with the magic talking book.
I would straighten up and then give a more formal bow to the book, and in ancient Tavine would say,
It is a pleasure to make your acquaintance, Master Pyrus.
In ancient Tavine, Pyrus responds back, My! Now there is the proper way to greet someone. There is someone who has been raised with proper etiquette.
Well, it was a bit of a requirement, being a servant.
Ah, I see. Well, that is new for me then.
So, you know each other?
Hush now, child, the adults are talking.
No, we don't. Just, we hail from the same rough location.
Leon's also speaking ancient Tavine.
oh, okay.
Yeah.
So are you... If you are from ancient Tavine, are you some sort of... What are you exactly?
Oh no, I just... From Tevinter, it was an old household I was a part of. They liked the past quite a bit.
I see.
Total lie. I can roll.
Yeah, roll a deception.
Could I also get on in this insight check?
Sure, if you'd like.
I'm pretty good. 9, 12, 14, 16.
Okay. And Leon?
14.
Damn it.
All right, so you believe what he says.
Alright.
Wait, could I like have a -2? I want him to know. Damn it.
Yes,
Though Pyrus obviously could do something, because to him, like even when I'm talking normally, he'd probably notice the accent is natural.
Yeah.
but yes, this is very curious. Master Pyrus, if I may, do you know the year you hail from?
The actual year. Unfortunately, no. It's been a very, very long time, and I've been dormant for a good number of it, so...
Here.
And I would give the current date in Tevinter, like the Devinter calendar.
Could you perhaps narrow it down to a century?
Probably sometime way, way back during ancient Tevin, as you would call it. You would all call it.
I see. Well, that explains why you're a blood magic book.
What was the earliest thing you remember?
He says, earliest thing I remember. I would probably say way, way back, maybe 2 millennia ago. I was being used by one of your ancestors, teaching them about the arts of blood magic. I was much smaller at that point, not as many pages.
You remember back when Tevinter wasn't even an empire, before Arlathan fell?
That I do not remember.
Wow, your pages aren't even yellow. You've kept your age very well.
It's a wonderful, wonderful magical artifact, I must say.
Why, thank you! That's what I've been trying to tell him this whole time.
You're very wonderful, but you're also probably the most deadly thing I had on me.
Why, thank you! Keep the flattering. Keep the flattery. I like the flattery.
So, Leon and Pyrus.
Yes?
Lovely, Leon, you're taking private lessons then?
Yes, off and on.
Not enough.
Right, why?
Well, A, magic talking book, that's pretty exciting.
That is very fair.
B, it's the last thing my parents left me before they died. And, he says that they left me a note on a specific page, and I want to know why. Why would they have a blood magic book? Also, blood magic's evil and all that. Rah, rah, rah.
No, it isn't.
What do you mean? Blood magic is constantly the source of ruin. It was the fall of the Golden City. It caused the blight.
Well, that's a theory, but think of it this way. Blood magic is it's like a blade with no handle. It's dangerous both to its user and to others. But a blade with no handle can still be held without drawing blood. It can be used to make a precision cut. It can be used to help someone. Blood magic is, in some ways, no different than a fireball. Maybe even better. Fire can't do much beyond burn. Maybe purify a wound, but that's about it. With blood magic, I've heard tales of Deventer Magisters sealing up wounds, growing entire limbs, doing blood transfusions. I mean, there was even one time a friend of mine said that a Magister used the ability to control one's mind to save a friend from suicide.
They use blood magic in Deventer?
It's Deventer. What do you expect?
I guess. Well, Pyrus did say he hailed from Deventer, so I guess there are.
Yes, they definitely use blood magic in Deventer.
Okay.
Where do you think your parents originally got their formal training?
Is that where I'm supposed to go? Is that what they're referencing?
Is that what's referencing?
Leon sort of opens Pyrus and points to a page.
Oh, that's the newest entry. Yes, that thing. I don't know anything about that. That was just something that your parents scribbled.
What is
Probably
it?
the last thing
I
they
would be kind of
scribbled.
looking over.
Our dearest Leon, if you have been given this journal, that means that the worst has come and we have passed from this world. We want you to know that you are always loved, but this is a journey that we can no longer accompany you on. Seek out our colleague, Dark Oak, where one is privileged to file, yet shackled at the same time. There you will find the answers you seek. Stay strong, our little sparrow, and fly swiftly.
Interesting.
I have no clue.
Yeah,
Now, what is
Privileged.
privileged to?
file, yet shackled at the same time. I was going to go to like a town or maybe a library to try to find any information on that. Maybe research a few things, but seems our call to adventures moved us elsewhere.
Yes.
Well, since the cat's out of the bag.
It certainly sounds like Deventer,
Okay.
but
So it
it
looks
also
like-
sounds like many other places.
But it looks like Deventer is probably my strongest lead.
Possibly. Though, be careful. You are a mage, and a human, so you will be in a better position than most, but still, you must be cautious.
Tevinter sounds like a fantastic destination. Why don't we go there? Right now.
We're sort of in the middle of a thing. We're hunting dragons and the like.
Your education is also a thing, and it's a very important thing.
Well,
Education is important.
don't I have the best tutor around?
Yes, but that tutor is useless if you don't actually pull me out more often for your training.
Fine. Tonight, I'll when we stop the caravan, I guess.
Tonight, when we stop the caravan, you're going to sneak into Pasha's wagon, hit her over the head, drag her over to a stone, and I will teach you how to do your blood sacrifice ritual.
Whoa, I think that's a few steps a little too far.
Master Pirates, that's a very, very easy way to get yourself killed in this day and age.
I'm a book, I can't die.
You can, well, you could be burned or torn up or shredded or drowned. I don't want to risk it, but there are possibilities.
Well, excuse me for trying to throw him into the deep end.
Oh,
The deep end has severe consequences for the unprepared.
Fine. Well, I guess we don't have to sacrifice Pasha completely. Just minorly maim.
How about we just focus on no volunteers yet?
No volunteers? What are you suggesting exactly then?
self-maiming first.
As hideous as that is, yes.
Very well. We will pull it back. But if I'm going to agree to that, then you need to be a lot more serious and be learning your lessons way more often than you have as of late.
All right. When it's safe. And then he looks to Darathan. Do you...
If you wish to practice here, there's not many that come around.
But the smell of blood can be quite powerful, especially around objects that are in use a lot, like the tent.
True.
Do you want to accompany us? Maybe dabble a little bit?
I have enough dark secrets that adding that would just be... I'll pass.
Well, all right, but I hope I can count on you in the future for maybe a little help in this regard.
Certainly.
Would you volunteer at that point? He asks Darathan.
Perhaps.
Well, there you go. You have someone you can practice on once you're done with your self-training practices.
Oh boy. Well, it's a good thing I've learned heal pretty well. Oh, also, I found some dragon blood. He pulls out a few vials of dragon blood. And it's fresh.
Oh, my dear boy. Have I got things to teach you?
Oh dear. Why is it when he gets in this way, it does not make me feel comforted?
I'm a very focused book, alright? I'm a very task-oriented. I get tunnel vision.
Yes, this seems to be a theme, but Leon, I will just say be careful. I don't have to say it much.
Yeah, I'm a little scared about this whole endeavor in blood magic.
Leon, just remember, it's not the sword that's the villain. It's the person who uses it to murder.
But if someone uses a sword too much, then everything starts to look a little more bloody.
Then you have to make sure you keep your perspective. Don't use it in combat. Don't use it to harm. Use it to heal only.
Well, Pyrus, I guess we've got a direction to head.
It's something, yes.
You can start maybe on the... I don't know if it's possible, I'm not a blood mage, but you could possibly start on that blood transfusion idea.
But don't I need a willing subject?
Mr. Bunn! Yes. I think Mr. Bunn wants to volunteer.
So he sort of gives Darathan the look of, like, it's a stuffed rabbit, but I can't tell him that because then he'd be really out of control.
What? Okay then.
Yeah, well, I'm sure, Mr. Bunn has his own reasons, but, he's keeping an eye on you to make sure that, you behave and stay quiet in the bag.
I don't need Mr. Bunn to watch me like some child that needs to be scolded.
But Mr. Bunn counted 2 infractions just this morning.
Well, I think Mr. Bunn should stay out of my business.
Well, you know, Mr. Bunn is very, very on top of his job, and as long as you stay quiet, you can come out for a few hours at night and teach me blood magic.
I would have thought by now you would have forgotten all about Mr. Bunn and started acquainting yourself with bigger and better things like Bunicide.
I need to tell Balm about this.
Balm?
Oh, a friend from my hermitage.
Oh man, is he a tree or a?
He's quite large, so I suppose that's one definition.
Huh. Neat. Be interesting.
And this friend can keep secrets as well.
Yes.
Oh, Oh no, it wasn't about the magic, just the...
I gotta point to the bunny.
That psychic rabbit.
It's a telepathic bunny.
Do not save me.
Evil telepathic bunny.
I was joking. I didn't even think anyone would be that... Wow.
Because Mr. Bun knows all of Pyrus's secrets and his wicked thoughts, so Pyrus has to behave? Otherwise, Mr. Bun will tell me.
Yes.
Yes, it's...
My nemesis.
Daretham almost bursts out, but he holds himself together.
I like Mr. Bun.
Oh, you won't for very long, trust me.
I'm sure. You'll just know all of my secrets.
Yes, all of your secrets. Well, thank you so much for your help in heading, and I hope that, we can keep secrets.
Of course. Oh, and since your so seems to be able to fly or at least leap, maybe have him help you run away from Pasha if she ever finds out.
Oh, yeah. Whew. That'll be a fun one. We were talking about how the Kuhn treats wizards, and I'd rather not have my mouth shown up.
Well, eventually, when you completely get to the advanced studies, you might be able to change Pasha's mind a little bit.
So see, Leon, that's the thing where that could easily be taken as an evil act. So that's... yeah.
It's not an evil act if it saves her life. If the alternative is to kill her or to change her mind,
But
don't you think killing her would
That's
be
more
far,
of a-
far more?
That's
Aren't
more
we-
of a gray area, Master Pyrus.
aren't we the source of both danger, though?
Well, not to you or to me.
We'll work on ethics next time.
Ethics. You keep talking about this word ethics.
It's being a good person, not murdering, not just being a good person.
If you murder someone, you're not a good person?
It depends on the point of the murdering. If the point of the murdering is for personal wealth and power, then it's a bad act. But if the point of murdering is to protect small children or protect someone who is, against...
You're not making any sense, boy. Why is personal wealth and power inherently bad?
Because it's inherently selfish.
And that's bad?
Yes.
Well, at least, lucky for you, I am the one who's the teacher. So, your opinion is not as valuable.
Okay.
Well, Mr. Bun agrees with me. Well, how about we stay quiet in the bag and we'll practice tonight.
Yes. Perfect. I'm going to hold you to that.
Oh, and Master Pyrus, just another piece of advice for yourself.
For me, are you trying to teach me something?
Yes. In general, when around other people, talking books are not something they find common, and they often jump to the worst conclusions around magic. So I'd recommend preparing a rant for later instead of in the moment.
I will take your suggestions to consideration.
I thank you for that.
And thank you, Dareth.
Of course.
You
I just know it's up to you what you do with magic. I mean, even take heal. If you healed a murderer, would that not be killing someone eventually?
I guess. Sort of puts Pyrus and Mr. Bun, like, looking at Pyrus in the bag.
Ugh, I hate it when he stares at me like that. It's so creepy. He never blinks. It's creepy.
I wonder why.
Quiet.
Well then, good luck, Leon. And please don't engage in any blood sacrifice rituals anytime soon. Or
Oh, whew. I think that's a little advanced for me.
very, very.
So, over time, you guys will move towards Nevarra and Nevarran City, which means that we are leaving the region of diminished water and we are now moving to the region of diminished aether, which means that for some of you, for all of you, almost, except for Pasha, your disadvantage is going to shift. So no longer are you taking an extra 1 penetrating damage per hit, but because you're in the Aether region, you all will suffer -1 on all of your attack rolls while you're in this region. -1 on all attack rolls, except for Rousseau.
Is
Don't
that,
like
I get to be full neutral.
that damage, or is that 2-hit? rolls?
2 hits.
2 hit.
Cool.
To hit tackles.
And then was it also minus to perception as well?
It is plus the perception for you.
No, I'm in my region, so
In your region,
You
right,
no
right.
longer, yes, Rousseau no longer has his +1 bonus to his perception, but
Pasha has her bonus.
Pasha does now gain a +1 bonus to all Constitution-based skills.
Got it.
Okay.
Helpful in resisting blood sacrifices, so that's good.
Sure.
You guys are actually going to start passing by the Menanter River, which is a source of entertainment throughout the year in Nevarran City. In the high summer, street markets sprout up along the banks of this river, as well as on trade boats on its surface, and the lower classes risk the danger posed by the boats to swim and cool off in the waters. In winter, the frozen stretches of the river attract ice skaters. Now, Nevarra is renowned for its artistry and culture, and Nevarra City is particularly rich in both. There are hundreds of statues of heroes, powerful generals, and dragon hunters strewn across the city. Statues of the kings and queens of Nevarra stand along the boulevard, stretching up to the Castrum Draconis amid columns of polished black marble. During the ancestral pageants traditionally held in autumn, of which point it is right now autumn in our timeline, you will see the great families of the city drape the statues of their ancestors in their colors, and have their most famous exploits performed by troops of actors hired for the occasion. The Pentaghosts and the Von Markhams compete to put on the better show as well. Other seasons are rife with entertainment. Hunt balls are held in winter, a reminder of Nevarra's proud dragon hunting past. Spring and the holiday of Wintersend lead to great tournaments, mostly focused on archery and tests of arms rather than jousting. And in the summer, Duchess Ravera Anaxis was known to invite scholars from Cumberland to test their minds in contests of philosophy and rhetoric in the so-called Duchess's Games at the Anaxis estate. So, as I said, it is autumn, and there is currently the city is preparing for, the festival that is held during this time, and the city of Nevarra is quite, I would say, has a very specific architecture similar to Vinter, but a lot more skulls. Maybe is the best way to put it.
More gothic.
More gothic, a little more macabre. You will pass by at least over from a distance, you will pass by the Grand Necropolis, which is very hard to miss. And immediately, it seems like as you are making your way into this particular region, the sun, or at least the sunlight, starts to very quickly go away, and you will be in total, well, besides the lights of the city, you'll be in total darkness. It is during this time of the year that for 3 whole months, the entire region of Aether is in a continuous darkness effect. And so there have been ways that the people have been coping with this, because it has clockmakers and other such timekeeper industry people, as you can imagine, are more important now more than ever, because otherwise it'd be very difficult to know the difference between midnight and noon if you were just randomly looking at this part of the world.
10 a.m. It's pitch black. 10 p.m. It's pitch black.
Pitch black. Yes. I'm going to say that the caravan will park just outside of Nevarran City. I would say between the city and not incredibly far from the necropolis. You could probably notice it, maybe even more so if it wasn't complete darkness. But what do you guys do?
So, quick housekeeping question. Would it have been possible for me to draft up that document for Ignaldo on the way to here?
Yes.
Okay.
I would say roll me whatever you use for your lawyer profession.
I'll do that as cunning while I don't have
Sure.
calligraphy yet.
Remind me and the audience what the document is again.
I was making the non-liability agreement for Ignaldo, so, in case of, dragons attack or, something goes wrong, they can't come for punitive damages because they accept responsibility.
Yes. What did we say your rate was for this?
2
document?
sovereigns,
Yes.
if I get it made and approved.
You will be able to, yes. I'm going to say that just to save time, you'll be able to do that successfully and you can have your 2 sovereigns.
Yay.
Also, I forgot to mention that the Master Ignaldo, for participating as volunteers into the show, he is going to pay you for your theatrical debut alongside Tyrion. So, Tyrion, you will get an additional sovereign piece, and for the rest of you, you will also get 50 silver pieces to the rest of you.
Not me, though, because I didn't play.
That's right, you did not participate. This is your stomping grounds, Russo.
Yep. Good morning, Nevarra, and it's just darkness.
We're home!
Yep.
Oh, Daddy, I think the festivals is gonna start up soon.
Yeah, we'll go in a little bit. Have to do a couple things, and we'll be right on our way.
Damn, it's
And
quite
I
dark
think-
here.
Yeah,
So-
you get used to it.
Rousseau would hear Daretham kind of mutter under his breath, kind of near him.
Well, it'll be a little easier to hide now.
Not gonna make any response or attention towards that.
So, what's this I hear about a festival around here?
It's the fall. They do this whole thing with the street vendors at the river. It's this big lavish thing. It's better if you see it in person. I'm not the best at describing it.
Seems Narca might be doing a venture out soon, probably for that. My guess, if that's the first festival going on with that.
Oh, is there a library around here?
There would be once we actually get to the city.
Can I ask, how dark is it? Is it can't even see your hand in front of your face dark, or is it just a very dark night?
It's as if it was midnight. It's like
Okay.
it's constant midnight, 24/7.
So cloud covering, but you can sort of see moonlight coming
Right.
through. Yeah.
You can still light torches. You can still, yeah. It's just, yeah.
Well, before we head into the city, that's right. I'm gonna try to see if we can grab a lantern. I'll go ask if Narca has any lanterns.
Oh,
Yes,
no worries.
definitely.
Spell wisp, the little wisp that just lights up around.
As much as I like magic, it's best we get normal things.
Pasha's also gonna hold up her own lantern and be like, don't worry, I've got something.
Yeah, I think that Narika will be able to give anyone who wants a lantern, because it's a fairly mundane, typical object. She'll let you have it for free if you want to just add a lantern to your possession.
I'll take it as I light it up. Thank you very much, Narika. This will be helpful to see in this damn place.
I've already got a lantern, so I will hold mine.
So yeah, you'll go into the city and you realize that again, it is a very festive time of the year. Despite the eternal darkness, the people of Nevarra are determined to continue their customs just like normal. There are hundreds and hundreds of statues strewn about the city, and they have been regaled. They've been draped and decorated with bright colors and cloaks. There's a lot of torch lights, like the lamp. They don't have lamp posts, but they have like lamps with torchlight around them, and the flames actually give off a bluish glow throughout the city, and the flickering of the torchlights around the city makes the shadows of the statues dance, almost as if the statues were coming alive, or at least their shadows were coming alive. And right near the very main entrance coming into Nevarra City is this grand new statue that is still covered. It looks like they're about to do some sort of like unveiling of this new statue that they had just recently built, and so there's also already this gathering of people, and your people are already giving speeches and stuff and such, and you can see up on a stage right next to this statue two figures that catch your eye. The first one that probably catches your eye immediately is this woman sitting on a throne. And just it's weird, because even though you've been in the vicinity this whole time, as soon as you as soon as your eyes look at this woman, as if the moment you notice her presence, you suddenly get this chill running up and down your body, like almost like little pins and needles, almost like for a brief moment you were dipped into a frozen lake just for a moment, and then that feeling does dissipate, but it lingers, and you just can't shake this chilly feeling that just runs up and down your body.
Hart?
Yes.
I assume it's not at all familiar to Daretham, or like his experiences.
No, it's not. It's
Okay.
not at all familiar. This is not a phenomenon you've had the experience of before. So maybe it even creeps you out a bit. I don't know.
Yeah, no, it would.
And then right next to this woman is this gentleman, just standing right next to him, who you presume is an attendant. And something about this decrepit-looking skeletal man just feels really off. He's giving you a very unsettling vibe as well. But it seems like none of the citizens are creeped out by this, or notice this, or seem at all fazed by the presence of these two people. And you realize that these speeches that they're giving is because they are honoring Her Highness Queen Antonia for this brand new statue that they have erected. And so they'll pull the drape off, and you can see Queen Antonia's visage, her full body statue, just overseeing the crowd, and she has this very, stately pose, looking off into the distance, a spitting image of this woman who is also subjectively very pretty and attractive. So the artist did a great job of capturing that. But even looking at the statue itself, you still feel this intensified chill about you.
Does it feel magical in nature?
Roll an Arcana.
I think that's arcane lore, or is that like magic?
I would roll. You know what? Roll magic.
Okay.
Roll magic spirit if you have a focus in spirit. Roll magic.
Damn
spirit.
it! I almost took it.
Ooh, 16.
18.
You believe that this feeling of chillness is a magical effect of some sort. Yes.
And then Dartham will lean over to Leon and say,
Do you feel that?
Yep. But I don't know why. But it feels magical in nature.
I think it's possibly spirit related.
Possible. Aren't Nevarrans also known for their sort of zombification of things?
Entropy in the necromancer, whatever thing, yeah.
So it fits that their queen is queen of the dead. Oh no.
could I recognize the servant as anything otherworldly?
Maybe magical in nature?
I'll roll a separate roll. I guess that would be
Entropy, maybe?
entropy. Yeah, I guess that would be entropy.
Could I do a straight up magic roll?
Yes, go ahead.
Ooh.
No. 16, 21, 23. 23.
18.
Okay, so even though Dartham hasn't been around, he would have absorbed this information somehow. So Manfred does seem to be an attendant of the Queen's, and he does seem to be a being who is possessed by a spirit. A spirit is possessing the body of this man. And I don't know if you'd be able to get really anything else beyond that.
Yeah, no, I more just wanted to check if my innate theory, also me as a player, was true that it was an undead. And I kind of nod and say over to Leon,
Well, she's certainly queen of at least one dead man.
Yeah, it feels like a spirit, maybe?
Yes, that's a spirit possessing a body.
And it looks like the populace are okay with it, so why
Or
not?
at least unaware of it.
Are you speaking in such a way out of character that the other PCs are able to hear? Or are you specifically not letting the other PCs hear this conversation?
We're quiet, but if they're listening, they probably could hear, unless Leon...
If any of the other three wish to overhear this, they may overhear this conversation.
I think from somewhere, Pasha's head just slowly turns to look at them. And she's just staring at them intently as they're having this discussion, no.
Well, it's Nevarra. Can't really say you're too surprised by it.
Oh, also, I wanted to ask, when you guys go into the city, are you bringing all of the PCs or all the NPCs with you? Are you bringing this giant griffin with you, for example?
No.
No.
Nope, the griffin's
Probably
still
not
back.
the griffin.
Okay.
But probably Nathan and Rosie.
Yeah.
I'd say maybe just Rose. I don't know if we want to. Should we bring Nathan, Crown Prince, here in Nevarra?
Ooh, that's a question to Nathan. Does Nathan want to come in
yeah.
and possibly see Queen McQueenface?
So, if you ask, I think that Nathan would be cool with going into the city. Rosie seems creeped out by the city in general. So, if you want her to come along, you may have to convince her. Because I don't think she's not a dead person, City of the Dead person kind of person. Even the sight of the necropolis is enough for her to be like, I wouldn't do that.
We can let her stay back at the camp.
Nope.
We can let her stay back at the caravans.
So just Nathan.
Just Nathan will be there. And Nathan, he's pretty good about, not disguising himself, but making him not look. Not very many people know what the prince looks like, honestly. I mean, it's not like there's television that shows, you know, I don't even know.
Missing friends.
Like, I wouldn't even be able to recognize, like, Trump's kids if I saw them down the street. I would have no idea if they were or not, so. But, okay, so Nathan's with you, and he's just gonna say, wow, this place, I think I understand what Rosie was saying. This place really creeps me out.
It's not creepy, it's cultured.
Cultured for people to also revere their dead too much.
Well,
I mean,
at least they respect the body instead of destroying it.
it's up to the people's wishes.
That's one way to put it, Mr. Rousseau, Nathan says.
It looks like that attendant, though, is a little less than fresh.
Getting spirits to possess. Ugh.
No worries, Pash, we won't be here for long. Hopefully.
It's a cultural choice. I don't entirely understand it, but it's not attacking anyone.
Or fetish.
It's true. Oh god, you don't
Don't.
think so, Tyrion.
Tyrion,
I do not want to
That one might be a leap too far.
Probably, but it's just, don't want to imagine how people want to revere their dead in the most religious fashion. But still, this queen is. I thought she might have just have some chilling presence on her, but it's magic. Damn.
it's definitely magical.
It'd be interesting to ask her about some of her magical policies. Be neat to maybe learn some stuff.
Oh, I mean, you do have mages with a bit more liberty than most. The Nevarra has to be upkept, necropolis-wise.
Well, since we're on your home turf, so how about you tell us what the laws are here in Nevarra?
I
Mage
mean,
law, normal law.
Nevarra is mostly what you would expect law-wise. There's a few nuances. Me in particular, I specialized in property disputes and civil cases and criminal defense. In terms of magic, that really wasn't my expertise, but there are some people that do specialize in entrance to I cannot say the word, immortalitasi work and other positions such as watching and whatnot.
Man, it must be very complicated, because it could be like their last will and testament says they want to be used for a zombie, but then their friends and family are like, no zombie, please. So, how do you rectify, the wishes of the dead and the wishes of the living?
Usually go with whatever was in writing first.
Rousseau! You hear a female voice as this woman approaches you. There you are, Rousseau Alren. Where have you been these last several days? You never reported to work.
I turned in a letter saying that me and my boy were going to the fair in Antiva. I specifically wrote the request, Hilda. I'm sorry if you never got the word. And then there were some complications getting back, and I had to piggyback with the caravan.
Well, fortunately, you got here in the nick of time because we've been trying to let you know that the trial just got pushed up to 2 days from now.
Oh, that's just great.
You have about 36 hours to prepare for the case.
Yep, yes I do, and I need to start prioritizing that ASAP. Thank you for the information, Hilda.
She says, happy to help. We are friends after all.
Leon's going to sort of whisper to the rest of the party, they don't sound very friendly.
Probably. Maybe colleagues.
Okay, first things first. Is Guinness at the jailhouse?
So, okay, let me pause just to ask, because we do need to fill in some blanks. Because I know that we left the whole courtroom thing hanging a little bit. So, let's review what's been going on with this case since we last addressed it with Rousseau. So, you were with Audric. He came to you. You said that you wanted to do some investigating first and in order to determine whatever you need to do to to set up your case. So what are some of the things that you did? Like, you went to the scene of the crime, I think is what you wanted to do.
Yeah, I went to the scene there to find other witnesses. I had the case written as attempted murder, not full murder. Simply because Audric wasn't ready to come clean about I'm a dead guy possessing myself.
Okay. So you went to the scene of the crime. There wasn't really anything to find, unfortunately, because it's been a month since it happened. But you said you were trying to do some investigation to see if you could get witnesses, you said?
Yeah, I asked around to grab some other witnesses.
Roll me a communication. What would that be? What's investigate, actually?
Investigates you talking to a person one-on-one and can pick up certain clues and cues.
Can we do communication investigation as a way for you to try to find somebody who might have witnessed something?
Yeah, that works.
14.
14.
With 2 stun points.
Okay. Yes. You will be able to get a lead that somebody witnessed something. I think are you just like randomly knocking people's doors? Like how are you trying to find witnesses? I guess is what I'm trying to figure out.
I would have attempted to get access to information warrant of some type that would allow me to just go door to door within like a block area.
Okay, I'm gonna say that you will speak to an older woman who remembered that her brother mentioned something that happened, but never like came forward with it to the authorities, and she doesn't know the details, but she believes that she recognizes the situation that you're describing, and that her brother had seen something, but at the time her brother was away, and you were asked if maybe you could speak to him when he comes back, and she said, yes.
Okay.
You're welcome to try to come back later, and because he was going to be away for like a week or 2 or something.
Okay.
And wouldn't be back. You presume maybe he might be back now.
All right.
And the person that you were speaking to is Miss Rainier, and that means her brother is named Thomas Rainier.
No.
Cool.
Hold up.
Wait a minute.
Wait a minute. Hold up. What?
Some ain't right.
My brain is not working because I know that name, but I can't remember.
I'm sure you do.
We're all gonna climb the wall. This is who we group romance now.
Then the other thing I would have done, knowing that this is key for me to win this case, was attempt to make contact with a couple old contacts for information.
For what type of information?
Information about Guinness and their activities through there, just so I get a timeline.
Roll me another investigation, I guess.
16.
Okay. So the Winters is a mercenary group that is very well renowned within Nevarra. They are technically a relatively notorious group. The Winters are, unfortunately, during these times and settings, they unfortunately are a group that is very difficult to touch, because not necessarily, it's mostly because out of fear. Like, people who have messed with them in the past and tried to persecute them for X, Y, and Z have mysteriously disappeared, things like that. And that's why many cases that involve the Winters, most lawyers would not agree or would not accept to take on a case against the Winters for that very reason. However, if somebody is inexperienced as Rousseau, or maybe even desperate for cases like Rousseau, may be more willing to take a case like this. It's just know that it is an uphill climb. Guinness has been a part of the Winters for quite some time. She's known to be very good at her work and her mercenary work. Normally, mercenaries do not, kill people contractually, kill specifically targeted people contractually. That's more of what an assassin does.
Yeah.
However, what they can do is, I don't know how, I did some research, so excuse me for people who are watching if this is not completely historically accurate, but there is something, back during, the real-life pirates and privateer time,